If Tinubu can bring us down to this level in just 2 years, for those criticizing Obi for saying he's going to run for only one term, why do you think 4 years is not enough for Obi to change the course of things? If Tinubu, only 2 years brought us down for 2 years, now we are here. So 4 years is pretty much enough for somebody to make a difference. This idea of people saying Obi don't have support in the north, that Obi cannot win in the north, is just a kind of statement that is very deceptive. The same Obi that within a space of 6 months that got meaningful vote in the north, he won 3 states in the north. And even in Atiku state, he got almost over 50% of that election, if not for manipulation. Then you think that the man will not still win in the north? Do you think all the Northerners will vote for Atiku? The answer is no. So let's stop deceiving people. That Atiku is contesting from the north does not mean that Atiku will win all the vote in the north. Everybody in the north does not believe in Atiku. There are many of them even till now that will not still vote Atiku in that northern state. So let us stop that sentiment of because he's a northern man. No matter the tribal card he plays, good people in the north that believe in accountability and good governance will still vote for Obi. That is the way it is.
How bad is corruption in the Nigerian government or in the Nigerian system?
Some of the things I recovered were returned back to, the people will recover those things from. For instance, there was this case of somebody will recover 80 S-Class Mercedes-Benz car, brand new, houses, farms, motorcycles, and so forth. In a house in Jabi, under information, we got intelligence, and we went there, we saw all those things. I wrote to the customs, the DG of customs, do these people pay custom duties on these vehicles? 80 brand new S-Class, armored plated. The CG of customs said no, they didn't pay. I wrote to Federal Inland Revenue Service. Did these people pay tax? If you are importing, if you have this kind of vehicles, if you have money to buy this kind of vehicles, you should pay enormous tax to the Nigerian government. They said no, they don't have any record of them paying tax. So we went to court. We got an order of official, and then the court asked us to, we should take custody of those things, interim for official, pending the hearing of the case. So I did it. I did a memo to the Attorney General to brief him of what we were doing. But later on, the Attorney General said that all the cases are investigated. They never mandated me. One of them was, came through Panama Papers. You know about the Panama Papers? Mm-hmm. A Nigerian senator, former military governor, was mentioned that he has properties in offshore islands. Since I didn't have the structures to investigate this issue, which is overseas, I went to the DG, NIA, said, look, please, let us work together to do this investigation. And they did the investigation. The report was sent to me. I sent one to the president and I sent one to the Attorney General that this man has over 200 million pounds in the offshore islands.
A former governor, a sitting senator.
He's no longer in the Senate.
No, at the time.
At that time, he was a sitting senator. Well, he had been president of the Nigerian Senate.
But nothing happened.
Not till today. What of the $69 billion? I got a letter, I didn't prompt them, from an American law firm saying that they have assets or access to a bank account in Texas that has over 69 billion US dollars. Proceeds from stolen crude oil. And the 9 billion, 69, the proceeds from the crude oil is 60 billion. The 9 billion is, they mentioned the name, Patrick Aziza, who was National Security Advisor. And I thought it was beyond me, so I wrote to the president that this is what this firm has,
alleged.
Yes. That they are asking for money, that if we make some payment available, that they will give us the holders of the account number, the bank accounts, and so forth and so on. So I went to the president and said, approve, so that we can recover this money. 69 billion is a lot of money. Of course, nothing came out of it.
Up to now.
I also did a letter to Attorney General to brief him. But do you know what he said? The day he saw my wife, he laughed in a very sarcastic manner. I think Obla claimed that he would recover 69 billion US dollars as he recovered the money. He was being sarcastic. How would I recover the money when you didn't act as the Attorney General? You know, somebody has said, look, we will have $69 billion of Nigerian money in a bank account in America.
And the government did not take action.
Nothing. Look, it's in the media. If you look at Punch published the story. Punch published the story. Even when Buhari was in office, he did. I think if I would download it and send it to you, nothing was done.
It feels like the government you work for was a failure in that respect.
Why I have said so, that I was disappointed, because I believe so much in, the former president, and I worked passionately for him.
But I mean, would you attribute the underdevelopment of our country today to corruption? Why
not? Look, if you can, somebody can take $69 billion out of Nigeria. If we have $69 billion, our universities will change, our polytechnics, our secondary schools, we'll have water, and this is just a tip. That is just a tip of the iceberg.
There are so much more.
I've been looking at events leading to the 2027 general election, and I must say that things are happening faster and earlier than we have anticipated. Before now, election campaigns or election anxieties would have started long before now, but it appears the mischief and greed, in fact, the whole narrative leading to the 2027 election has a twisted perspective or a twisted irony associated with it. And I will need you to be patient and hear me out. Everything I'm going to say is allegedly, and they might be a figment of my own imagination, but hey, perhaps if you pay a close attention, you might just understand where I'm coming from, right? Okay. Now, we've always said Islamization. Nigeria, there are people bent on Islamizing Nigeria. So I've been thinking, suppose we are describing the narrative using the wrong words. Suppose it is actually a Fulanization agenda and not an Islamization agenda. Islam to me is just like a peg. When you wash your clothes and you anticipate there's going to be wind, you use peg to hold your clothes on the line so that the winds does not take your clothes away. Suppose Islam is merely a peg that is aimed at holding you together so that the wind does not take your ideology away. You see, the most difficult thing to re-educate is an ideology. Now, suppose we replace the idea or the apprehension that there are people that want to Islamize Nigeria to there are people that want to Fulanize Nigeria. And by Fulanizing is by redirecting the instrument of power to the hands of the Fulanis. Now, let me take you to a small journey. Part of this journey I had described before. During Jonathan and Buhari, remember the infamous statement that the dogs and the baboons will be soaked in blood. And Jonathan, at that time, felt he was alone. Nobody wanted to hear from him because the Southwest media have already described him as a weak, drunkard, sheep, and all the negative narrative. I don't want to go back so that I don't elongate this video longer than it is necessary. But we all know, right? Okay. Then Buhari came into power. Remember all the cattle ranch, all the ruga, all the livestock, whatever, and all the nomenclatures invented just to establish the Fulani dominance in Nigeria. I will still not forget a particular video I saw where Buhari opened the borders for myriads of Fulani indigenous, non-skilled workers, non-skilled individuals that trooped into Nigeria. Where are they? There was a time that we had them on the streets, running after you, using their children to run after you, dragging your clothes to give them money. Suddenly, they have disappeared. No, they have not disappeared. They've blended in perfectly with you. Now, the whole idea of a Fulanization is to put Nigeria in a place where they can control, command and control. Now, let us leave history and come to the present situation we have. You know, I've been asking myself, Atiku and Rufai, what game are they really playing? Because I'm made to be aware that Atiku and Rufai met Buhari before he passed on. What was it they discussed? The whole idea of setting up this coalition, what's the idea? Now, when you add that to the fact that people are wooing Jonathan to come and to contest for the presidency, of course, Jonathan will not win. And if Jonathan is going to come across this video, let me just tell him, Jonathan, you will not win. Everything is just aimed at, you know, sometimes I wonder, I hope it's a mere rumor, because Jonathan has not come. I think with the viral nature of this news, I believe if it's a lie, Jonathan should have come to debunk it. But for Jonathan to remain silent, that means there may be an element of truth to it. But if it is truth, I would advise Jonathan not to do it, because that will mean that I don't even know the right word to describe that. That would mean we are so cheap. You have finished. Your time has come and has gone. Be a statesman that you are. You are respected all over the world. Don't come and risk being reduced by contesting an election that you are not guaranteed to win. And why is it that the northern cabal will always use us in the south to destroy ourselves? Why is it that they don't want Obi? I will tell you for free. The Fulani cabal knows that a Peter Obi will upset the whole system, will change the whole formula, everything about what held the Fulani supreme, he will change it. I can assure you, when a Fulani man is running after a Southern and come and be a president, Amechi, come and be a president, good luck, come and be a president, they are running after those they can control. If I tell you the main reason why they don't want Peter Obi, it's not because he's an Igbo man. Well, that may be there, but that is not the main reason. The main reason is that if this man becomes president, we can't control him. That is just it. We can't control. For those who are saying Peter Obi is weak. No. If you look at the how do I put it? The urgency with which they want power to come back to the north after spending just 2 years. You could see, look, I'm going to say something that most Tinubu supporters may be happy that, hey, after all, what has said is, look, if not for Tinubu's attitude and his corrupt tendencies and his criminal nature, I want to say Tinubu understand. Tinubu is playing back every game the Fulanis have played in Nigeria. He's playing back everything. In fact, he's playing it back better. But the only problem is that he didn't carry everybody along. He has Yorubanized the whole agenda. Assuming he carried everybody along, you know, for they behind that 100%. But he made it a Yoruba thing, which is more or less like a Yoruba version of the Fulani agenda. And we don't want any tribal agenda in Nigeria. So, what is happening is that a Peter Obi is the biggest cog in the wheel of the agenda of the Fulani man. Even those our Hausa brothers that are saying that they've been reawakened, they are not really, they realize, yes, that the Fulani, this merger with Fulanis have not benefited us. Time to revolt against this union. But the biases they've sown in your heads over the years, hate the Igbos, hate the Christians, part of it are still there. So it will do well for you to, obliterate or delete those biases. Then we'll be sure that truly you have been awakened. But right now, if there's any meeting that has been made to say that an Igbo man will not be president, you let us know so that we'll keep our peace. Because obviously we can't continue the way we are. Just because somebody belongs to a certain region, a certain ethnicity, a certain religion, it doesn't matter if he has all the good underpinnings to turn this country around and say, no, we should not vote for him. We should vote for thieves and criminals because they belong to the acceptable tribe, the acceptable regions, the acceptable religion. No, Nigeria cannot work like that. A Fulani man ruled this country for 8 years. It is sheer preposterously it is a sheer preposterous effrontery. I sabi this English. It is a sheer preposterous effrontery for another Fulani man to be showing his attention after 2 years. Now I want to. There must be something there. There must be something. And if you are a Nigerian, you are, to be very frank, all those kicking against Peter Obi, yes, I'm not happy, but I'm not angry with you. You are just a victim of a narrative that have shaped your mind over the years to hate a certain tribe. You're just a victim. Your mind is a victim of narratives shared to you that, Igbos will break this country. I will not allow it. You're just a victim. So with that, I feel pity for you. But for me, I want a country where I can fill my car, I can go to the market and feed my family. I don't necessarily want anything from the government except a good life. A leader that can bring policies that I can physically see that is transforming this country. So what do you want? For us to continue in this feeding and eating on propaganda that bears no physical development on us, or to embrace genuine development that you can actually see? The choice is yours.